Ken Bruce has admitted his early exit from Radio 2 disappointing after spending more than 30 years working at the BBC. The 72-year-old DJ hosted his final show on March 3, instead of at the end of the month when his contract was due to end. Ken announced he would be leaving Radio 2 in January, becoming the latest big-name star to part ways with the station. He follows in the footsteps of Paul O'Grady, Graham Norton, Chris Evans, Craig Charles and Vanessa Feltz in what has been described as a Legends exodus. He admitted he wanted his exit to be on his own terms when he discovered he was being taken off the air early. In an interview ahead of the launch of his new show on Greatest Hits Radio, Ken told how he chose to leave Radio 2 when, months away from the end of his 2-year contract, he'd not been approached about renewing it. "I wanted it to be my decision," he explained. "There was no pressure and I've been more appreciated in the last 10 years at the BBC than I was in the first 25. But I decided to go. I think I did surprise them, but the fact was I hadn't been offered any continuation at that point. They then said, well, we were going to offer you another 3 years. But by that point, Ken said he'd already signed a deal with Greatest Hits Radio and didn't want to get into a bidding war." When Ken's exit from Radio 2 was initially announced, the BBC said Ken would host his show until the end of March. But this was cut short, and Ken made it clear at the time, this was not his decision. "That was disappointing," he admitted to the Mail Online. "I thought, come on, you can trust me. I'm not going to do a Dave Lee Travis, and start bad-mouthing everybody, because I had a lovely time at the BBC. So it was all a bit unnecessary." He previously said, "It's entirely within the BBC's right to ask me to step away a little early. But for the sake of 17 days, which was all that was remaining on my contract, it seems a shame. My belief is that, when I'm given a contract, I work to it and complete it. Over the last 46 years, I haven't had very much time off. I've attempted to turn up whenever I'm required to turn up. So my natural feeling as a broadcaster is if I've got 17 days to do, I want to do them." The DJ moving to rival station Greatest Hits Radio to present a new mid-morning show from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And he will be taking his long-running and much-loved Quiz Pop master with him. Prior to his departure, Ken said he would always be proud of his association with the BBC and Radio 2, but wanted to continue his career in a slightly different way in the next few years. Addressing his show being brought to an end early, he previously claimed he wasn't given any real reason that I understood for the change. In a statement the BBC said, Ken decided to leave Radio 2 and it's always been known he's leaving in March. Returning to Wogan House for a week after a month of broadcasting, the Piano Room sessions at Maida Vale provided a natural break. "We wish Ken all the best for the future." Vernon Kay has since been revealed as Ken's replacement, but his start date has yet to be announced. Gary Davis, host of Radio 2's Sounds of the 80s, will present the mid-morning show until Vernon takes the helm. Vernon said, "I am absolutely over the moon to be handed the microphone to present the mid-morning show on Radio 2, and what an honor to follow in the footsteps of the mighty Ken Bruce. I look forward to playing some of the best music in the world whilst in the company of the Radio 2 listeners who I feel I've got to know over the last 18 months. Do you have a story to sell? Get in touch with us at webcelebs@trinitymirror.com or call us direct 0207 29 33
Got to be some summer sad who's in our hearts, ready to come home and fall in love. I have been trying to find a way over you to a spot of oil, and where the sun comes up from above. Now take